2018 is almost over, and that means that so is the first year of Love Thy Nerd. It's been a crazy 10 or so months, and we've seen some amazing things happen. Our community has grown to over 1,300 people. We've done 2 recon trips, and our website, podcasts, and social media presence are killing it online. We're also able to use our new show model to continue to develop relationships with our friends, new and old, in the gaming industry. God is truly blessing what we are doing, and we are glad that if even by only listening to this podcast, you are a part of how we are changing the gaming culture. Love Thy Nerd Year 1 was great, and that's what we want to talk about this week on the Season 1 finale of the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network.
What's up, nerds? My name is Birdie. What? Birdie Stallcup. Well, it helps to proofread
Read the
this,
rest.
I guess.
Read the rest.
And you're listening to the Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Bird Podcast Network. And joined with me is Matt Warmbird, Warm Bird,
yeah,
and Kate Cattle Bird.
Isn't that funny?
World.
I told you who would read anything we wrote there.
That's true.
I did.
I wrote "Love Thy Bird" and then.
Yeah, it's like I had an Anchorman situation right there where I was just reading whatever was in front of me. But guys, we are back, and I know you will hear it in future episodes. And by future I mean past episodes when they finally get released, because somebody who will remain nameless has not finished editing and posting them. Kate, I'm looking at you.
Ouch.
Well, I'm not going to blame myself. What's going on? That's not going to happen.
That'd be ridiculous.
Whatever. Everyone knows it's not me.
And if this is later and you're actually listening to them in sequence, then disregard all this. But know, a little peek behind the curtain, they did not release in order in 2018 when we did them. So, but guys, we are back. We are back in black, and this is the last one of the year. This is our season finale. So that kind of crashed in, didn't it? It just lands a little heavy.
That's wild.
Well, I mean, we're not going to be gone for very long.
Yeah, we'll be back. Hopefully.
And by the time you maybe hear this one, we'll be back already.
Yeah, we promise this won't be an arcade situation where we say, and we'll see you next week, and then we just never come back.
We'll see arcade.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
So, but seriously, guys, this is our season finale for season 1 of the Free Play Podcast, and we will be back. Kate, I don't think you will be back for the first episode. Right? You're not going to be at PAX.
I don't think so. No.
You should be at
Do we
PAX.
need to ask Steven? Let's ask Steven.
Yeah. Steven!
He just came in here to print something. He's gone now.
Okay.
He can't hear you.
Missed opportunity. But our first episode will be at PAX South in January of 2019, the year of our Lord. And so you guys are going to want to tune in. We'll let you know when all that's going to drop and all that stuff. But guys, before we get too far in, don't forget, please don't forget that even if you don't have Free Play, a fresh episode for that week, you have Humans of Gaming and the Pull List Podcast, 2 of the other podcasts that are on our network here at Love Thy Nerd. And Humans of Gaming, they have episode 132 out right now, and you can go and listen to Drew interviewing a bunch of developers at PAX Unplugged. And it was awesome. I say developers, it wasn't really developers. It was just like industry people. He did some marketing guys and otherwise, but it was a bunch of people that he talked to at PAX Unplugged. And I promise you, those are great interviews. And some of those guys tell you some really juicy things about their games. So you're going to want to get in and listen to that. And we also have a brand new episode 5 of The Pull List, where Hector and Chris talk about the DC universe and toxic fandoms kind of in general. And if you've been a nerd for any stretch of time, you know that them nerds get mad. Like, nerd rage is real.
You mad, bro?
You mad? Yes, they most certainly mad, bro. So go and listen to the Pull List. Make sure that you subscribe to those things on iTunes, Spitcher. That's not a thing.
Spitzer and Twinder.
Spitzer and Twinder.
Spinder.
I was trying to say Stitcher and Spotify at the same time, and it just doesn't. It comes out Spitcher.
You tried. That's
Watch your mouth. Jeez. Family podcast.
Well, it was, and we had a
It
good
was
run.
a family podcast.
Yeah.
Can you make that beep-doo noise?
Wait, do it one more time.
Beep-doo.
I'll sample that. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so if you hear that, then something naughty was said, or I just did it over a normal word to make it sound like it was naughty, which will probably be the case. But make sure that you go and listen to and also subscribe and follow Humans of Gaming and the Pull List on all of those things. And guys, if we are not on a place where you listen to podcasts, please let us know.
Twinder.
If your Spitzer account keeps spitting back like username, password incorrect, just let us know and we'll fix that. Mm-hmm. But we want to make sure that we can get to you any way that we can. And hey, I found this out today. Side note, right? I got a new Google Home Mini.
Congratulations.
Yeah. My house is not smart, but this thing's pretty smart. So, Kate, you asked what it is. It's kind of like the Amazon Echo Dot.
Okay.
But it's Google's version of the Amazon Dot. So I found out that you can say, hey, Google, play the Free Play podcast. And it'll play the Free Play podcast.
Really?
It just does it. It plays the latest one.
Okay.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Hey,
take
Siri.
video. Take video of yourself asking your Google whatever
Play
to
the
play
Free
it
Play
and
podcast.
send it. No, I'm trying to issue a challenge and you keep interrupting.
Hold on. Oh, she's thinking about it. She wants to play it so bad. Is she going to do it?
Let's see.
It's the Free Play podcast.
Okay.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
It's working.
Oh,
What
man.
episode?
Wow.
What
Go
episode?
ahead, Kate.
Yeah.
What
That was-
episode?
Every
That wall
episode.
should-
Yeah.
Nintendo 64.
That is
Okay. No, okay,
currently
so what-
that's the latest
Okay.
one.
So what I was going to say is, here's my quick challenge I just came up with.
because socials.
Somebody take a video of yourself asking your Alexa or your Siri or whoever, your
smart
Google,
thing.
your smart thing to play the Free Play podcast. Take a video of you asking, have it respond, and then send it to us at Love Thy Nerd so I can do something with it on the socials.
Don't send it to us at lovethynerd.com.
Okay.
That's not an
Send
actual
it to
email
us,
address.
comma.
Well,
Yeah.
yet.
You can tag us.
No, I was trying to say, send it to us at Love Thy Nerd, like socials, not
I
email
know,
it
but-
to us at Love Thy. Okay, email it to Kate at lovethynerd.com.
I'm
Or
out.
you can tag us on socials at lovethynerd. There you go. I'll do your job, Kate. It's fine. But you
We're
guys.
supposed to be taking things off his plate, not adding more stuff, Kate. Come on.
Yeah,
I
thanks
was
for nothing.
trying.
Thanks for nothing.
You just didn't
good
like
try.
how I had it.
We also have another show that Matt and I do called Beard Bros Game Show. And what we do is we try and take games, whether they be board games or video games or otherwise. Right now it's board games because that's what we have a ton of. And we'll talk about them or review them. In our last episode, which I thought was pretty dang cool, we talked about our top 10 games, board games of the year. And it was kind of an interesting list because
I was
they
tired.
weren't games that came out in 2018 necessarily, but they were the best games that we had played in 2018.
Yeah, I regret one of my choices.
Do you want to correct it right now?
Well, I should have put Spirit Island on there. Wait.
I should have put... No, I did put Dice Throne. I don't regret anything.
Yeah. I should have
no
put Spirit
regrets.
Island on there.
YOLO.
Spoiler alert, I didn't put Spirit Island on my list.
Yikes.
I feel really bad. Sorry, Mr. Island.
Matt and I are going to do those every Friday at about 4 o'clock
Fill in the blank.
ish Central Time. So,
Can I be on it?
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
I don't want to.
We're looking
Okay,
for a
well,
producer.
then no.
We're looking
I
for
don't
a
want to.
producer.
It was a joke. I don't want to be on it.
Hey, that is a
Sounds-
good point Matt brings up. We do have a lot on our plates. And those of you guys who've been wondering, hey, where's Free Play? When are we going to get the next episode of Free Play? Well, I don't know. Today, right now when you're listening to it, maybe. But I do all of the producing and editing and all that mess for this show. And you know what? I have found out that I can't do everything. And I found this out because about 5 of my closest friends helped me understand that I can't do everything that I need to do.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that. So Here's what I want you guys to do. We are looking for creators and producers for not just the Free Play podcast, but also for Beard Bros. So really anything that Matt and I are doing with Love Thy Nerd as far as content creation goes, we want you guys to help us do that. So that may be you guys submitting ideas to us, or if you think you could do it on a regular basis, that would also be dope. So if you think that you have anything to offer to either Free Play or Beard Bros or even both, please go ahead and send us an email. Us at love. No, we already decided.
No, that's not even what I said. I didn't even say that.
But
Those
you can,
emails cost money. Stop adding them,
they
okay?
really freaking do. But you can send us an email, either Matt or Bubba at lovethynerd.com. And guys, we really would appreciate your help going into season 2 of the Free Play podcast and carrying over with Beard Bros as we continue to release more of that video content for you. So please just go ahead and do that. That would be great. All you got to do is email us, Bubba or Matt, at lovethynerd.com, not bubbathynerd.com. That's wrong. I had another Anchorman moment just right there.
Matt at bubbathynerd.com.
Well, let's move it along. Let's get this show rolling. We've got a pretty good show in store for you guys. We're going to be giving you the year 1 wrap up to catch you up in a year in review of Love Thy Nerd, and it has been a year, a whirlwind
Year 1
year.
wrap up. Year 1 wrap up.
Oh dang! I didn't know we had a jingle.
We don't. I stole that from a cartoon.
You stole that?
Well, it's called. It's actually the song's called "Winter Wrap Up," and it's for like getting ready for spring. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. It's a song about ponies doing something. I won't say which ponies, but they're not big. They're not big ponies.
Yeah, and they're not yours. They're
Not mine.
Yeah.
They're us at Love Thy Nerd.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to buy that dang email address.
This is so dumb.
But
Leave me alone.
let's go ahead and move this show along. And so, Kate, you've been missing for a while, even if people are listening to this in real time, in sequential order. You've been gone. So why don't you tell us about your trip, and then tell us what you've been playing?
What trip?
Didn't you drive your mom around or something?
No, I didn't go on a
Driving
trip.
Miss
My
Mom.
mom came here from Colorado and she didn't have a car, so I had to drive her where she
Did she
needed
bring
to
any of the
go.
goats with her?
No, but she brought her puppy, and her
Ooh.
puppy was so cute.
So when your mom got there after that, and after she left, did you download Uber on her phone or Lyft or something so that you could be on the podcast when she's here next time?
No,
Oh, okay.
because it's part of the. See, the thing
Just
is
trying to take
that my
stuff
mom,
off of your plate.
my mom comes here all the way from Colorado, and she doesn't get to
Yeah.
relax for a second. She has to do what everybody else wants to do, which everybody else wants her to come to their house. I think she should come here. She can sit on the couch at my house, and everybody who wants to see her can
Yeah,
line up
I like it.
outside.
I like it.
Like
You're
a museum.
really maturing. Yeah, you're
Or
really
a
maturing.
zoo.
Like
Yeah.
a wax museum.
Well, I just think that she traveled all this way. Why can they not drive 5 minutes? It doesn't matter their age, how old they may be.
Okay. That's thank you for
95,
defining
you can
age.
still-
Yeah.
95, you can still drive. You're fine.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
that
your
rhymed.
grandparents were taking photos of their burning down house. They can make it.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's-
What's their
yeah. So
excuse?
also, yeah,
the
it was a
craziest
year
thing.
since the burning fire. So I watched some videos that my grandparents took while their neighborhood was burning, while they were driving, taking video of their neighbors' houses
Oh my
burning.
gosh.
So there's no excuse for them, really.
Yeah. Well.
Hey, what have you been playing, Kate? How's
Anyways,
your mom's
sorry.
trip?
Dead air. Anyways, here's the big news. The Game Awards, there was what I've been waiting for 4 years.
What?
Dragon Age
Oh.
teaser
I was gonna say,
trailer for the
they have
next
the Game Awards
game.
every year, but I see what you're
Well.
doing. Yep.
No, this was a very special one because they played I don't know if it was a minute or less than a minute long teaser trailer that really had nothing in it. Just like a slowly moving like statue thing.
You waited 4
But it
years
had-
for nothing?
But it was everything. It was everything. I don't know. It means there's a game coming, and I couldn't be more excited. I was watching a 20-minute breakdown of this 1 minute trailer
I
on
haven't seen
YouTube
it yet.
later.
What?
It,
I haven't
it
seen
won't
it either.
even get. It won't get either of you hyped because you didn't play any of the last stuff.
You
So,
don't, hey, you don't know my life.
did you play the last one?
No.
See,
Well, I'm definitely not going to watch this while you're finishing what you're talking about.
No, you can watch it. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll just finish talking. You won't get it.
Spoiler alert.
It has the guy. It has the bald guy, Solus, talking in it.
Oh, spoiler alert!
Yeah.
Jeesh.
But you were gonna watch it. It's
We
fine.
just call him bald bro.
A lot of people call him Egghead
Makes sense.
because his head literally is like an egg.
Okay.
Tell me when you're done watching. We'll see if you think it's great.
Okay. Well, I mean, you'll know when I'm done watching because
Okay.
yeah. So what else have you been playing?
Also,
Though?
Odyssey, I've put in 81 hours as of today, right this second. 81 hours. I'm having a blast. But the question now is, what is next for me? What am I going to play next? Someone at church asked me, oh, so what are you going to play when you finish this?
Don't ask me those questions.
And I didn't. I just got this sinking feeling and like immediate anxiety. I'm like, I don't know. What? You're raising
What if you played Red Dead 2?
That's what they suggested. But I said, I don't know. And then they said it might not be for me because you have to Google a lot of stuff.
I haven't Googled anything.
Oh.
That means I'm pretty far behind probably, but I'm trying to play the game as it comes. Like I'm really trying not to Google anything.
Well, they said they just don't tell you how to do a lot of stuff.
Oh, what? No.
So maybe this person was just dumb
Yeah,
then.
I don't. I'll tell my story on my turn, but you can go.
Okay.
So who
Well,
is
it was
the
my
Dread
friend-
Wolf?
That's him, Solus.
Joe Mama.
The guy. Okay, so
And we
quick
found
thing.
him? Oh,
No,
I finished the trailer.
Oh my
Well, that's what he said. He
gosh.
said, so you found me at last.
Yeah. At the end of Dragon Age Inquisition, he like leaves the party mysteriously. You're like, where did he go? Where did he
What's
go?
his problem?
In the last DLC, you find him, and it turns out he's this really like ancient elven god who wants to tear down the veil.
There's
legit.
only
Okay,
one
so
God
this is
man,
not-
and I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
So this is not having an impact
Hashtag
on you.
Captain
Exactly how I thought. This is just exciting news for Dragon Age fans, okay?
How long has it been? 13 years?
Yes.
That was a
What?
good guess.
13 years? No. When did Inquisition come out?
2014.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Math checks out then. Yeah.
I'm just excited that another Dragon Age game is coming. I
Hey,
bet
I
you we're
know.
going to Tevinter. I bet you anything that's where we're going.
That was
And
going
I
to be my
couldn't be-
guess.
I couldn't be more excited, honestly. This is
Vinter
great
is
news.
coming,
I'm gonna have to play this game for the 5th time.
Ventura
That's what I can play next.
Okay.
That's what I can play after Odyssey.
Well, it's not
How
going to be
about
out for
Saw?
some time.
No,
No.
I'm gonna play Inquisition again for like the 5th,
Oh, sorry. I
the
misheard
5th
you.
time.
Gotcha.
Isn't Inquisition
That's what
an
I'm playing.
MMO?
No.
Is it not?
Oh my gosh.
Which one's the MMO?
thinking-
Doesn't Dragon
you're
Age
thinking
have
Don't
a...
you know anything?
No, you're thinking of
Mm.
Fortnite.
Oh,
Oh,
that's it. I do
it
that
real
all the
fast?
time.
You're
All the
thinking
time.
of Fortnite. So, okay, I just got the next like 6 months of life figured out. Anyways, Matt, what have you been playing?
Going from like a couple weeks ago where I played a billion games, this past week I haven't played many games. I did get Kanagawa in the mail and we were going to stream it, but then everyone kind of had a bad day, so then we didn't. And Bubba, you and I played that game, demoed that game at
It
PAX
was
Unplugged.
that was really, really fun. Like once you
Yeah, that was
understood
a
what
really
was
good
going on in that game, oof, man.
Yep. So we played that probably 3 times this week.
Have you
ahead.
contacted ELO? Have they? Did they get back to you at all?
Nope.
They haven't got back to me either. ELO, if you're listening,
They are.
Ms. Yellow.
Miss Yellow. I'm not going to say her name because I do remember her name. But if she's listening, please respond to our email. We would love to review your games. That would be great.
Please respond.
Yeah.
That has no hint of desperation in it whatsoever.
No, it's
Oh,
just,
we fine.
yeah. I'm a fun guy to email.
Yeah. So we've played that several times. I played a little bit more Warhammer. I feel like my death deck I've been using has just not been good. And I
No?
just keep losing to Avon. I need to work on some cards. I can't win on the app. I can't win in real life. I
Really?
just feel like me. Yeah. Well, I don't have
Is
the.
it just with that death deck?
I've only played the death deck. So
Okay.
I'm kind of stubborn about it. I want to win.
Oh, well,
It was really close. I almost beat Avon this last time, but he just has better attack cards, I think, and better everything cards. And I'm just like here doing vampire hood rat stuff.
Yeah. Do you?
So I need to play that.
Is this on the? Do you guys play in real life or do you play on the app?
I play him in real life. I also play on the app by myself.
But you don't play him on the app. Like he's not playing on Aaron's phone or something like that.
No.
Oh, okay. So you have all of the cards that we opened. Then you have all.
I do.
Those
I just need.
extra.
Yeah, I need to find the right deck.
Have you swapped any of those cards out or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went through and did my own cards.
I have the same issue with when I'm playing the Chaos deck. I can't seem to win with that Chaos deck. Yeah.
Well, the Death deck, there's some new cards that are stacking, like the whatever that one you have is, the Orc deck.
You have the Destruction deck.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I have Chaos. I have Chaos in Order. How's that?
Well, then that's right. Avon has the other one. Then that's right. He plays that one.
You should try playing with a normal deck of cards.
Oh,
maybe you're right.
Interesting.
That'll solve everything.
That's a good idea.
Interesting.
So I just need to go through and tweak my deck a little bit, make it better. I keep wanting to, but I just don't make time. Then I just sit down and play with the one I had there.
Yeah. We need to play. You and I still have not played online.
We haven't.
And I don't even think I've sent you a friend request.
No, we're friends.
Are we?
Well, I have your name on my phone.
Okay, well that's good. We'll take that. But if you guys haven't played, I mean, get in on this Warhammer game. Champions it's fun. It really is fun. It's quick.
It is. And if you want to play one of us, we'll play you on our phones or tablets.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, we'll play.
Oh yeah, that's whatever. Either way. Also, we played some Drop It, and that game is just easy, quick fun. I think I've spoke a little bit on it one of the weeks. It's like Plinko meets Tetris. Would that be the best way to describe it, you think, Bubba?
I think so.
Sounds fun.
Also meets Try Not to Curse Out Loud.
You're dropping your color. You have you're a certain color and you have certain shapes. Your color can't touch a color that's in the little contraption, and it also can't touch a similar shape that's in the little Drop It area. So you're trying to get points as you stack up.
It sounds a little more complicated than it really is. I mean,
you're just dropping a shape, trying to make it in the right spot.
It's like freeform Connect 4. That's kind of what you're just like dropping stuff like down in from the top.
But don't touch your own color and don't touch your own like similar shape, and you're good. You get points. Don't you dare! So we've actually played that one quite a bit because it's just so easy and so quick, and I want to play games. Kids want to play games. But I also today got in my Secret Santa gift, and I got Tiny Epic Zombies. Yeah, well, I guess it was yesterday. Tiny Epic Zombies, and we played a game today. It took us a good couple hours to get through it because those games, like I realized the name is Tiny Epic, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
But whenever you open those games, like, how in the world do they pack so much stuff in here? And how is this game so in depth?
Yeah.
For like a 4x9 box, 3x9
enough to fit in your
box.
Back pocket.
Yeah, fit in your back pocket.
That's so awesome.
We played one of the modes. We played the co-op mode versus the zombie AI.
Yeah.
And we probably cheated a little bit. Probably didn't play quite right, but we won. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Made
that's all that matters.
Yeah, so I counted it.
And you played perfectly.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm hoping to play a solo version tonight or sometime this week.
You know what's sad is that I forgot to sign up for the Santa thing again. Last year,
told you.
Oh my gosh.
Well, last year you did, but last year I forgot, and then Bubba signed me up.
I did.
And then this year I forgot, and Bubba didn't sign me up, and I still forgot, and I didn't.
I can't sign people up this time.
No, I know,
does things
but then,
completely different.
But then people started getting their presents.
Public shame on everybody who didn't send out their Secret Santa gift. Public shame.
Well, what if you and Drew just exchanged gifts because Drew forgot to sign up too?
Yeah.
No, but now he knows. I don't want him to know it's me because what if I give him something and he hates it? I want him to think it's a mystery person, not me.
Get him something he wants.
How about you get him something on his Elfster list? Because that's the whole point of the Elfster. You pick a wish list and
but what if he decides after that he didn't want it anymore?
Too bad. That's on him. Yeah. That's on him.
Get him cash.
Anyways.
Cash money.
Okay. Send him a box of cash.
Hundreds.
Well, how about we do January secret late Santa.
But we'll do public Santa in January. Yeah.
But yeah,
Whatever.
public
I
Santa.
won't forget. This is me saying I will try my best to not forget next year, and people can hold me accountable to not forget.
Not so secret Santa.
And Bubba can make more of an effort to sign me up.
This one's on me, guys. This one's on me.
Yeah.
And you can
totally.
fill out my. No, last year you signed me up and you filled it out with what I was getting for Christmas, which I didn't even know
Yeah.
what I was getting for Christmas.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You win.
I did you a favor.
Yeah, well, not this year.
Well, speaking of this year, I played Hand of Fate Ordeals. And
Sounds spooky.
It was, well, it's not. It's a
Much.
game. If you guys haven't seen my posts in the community, it's a game that is actually a video game. And in the video game, you play this card game that I have in real life now, but where you go through and it's a, procedurally generated, randomized dungeon that you're crawling through, collecting loot, visiting merchants, defeating enemies, and stuff like that. And once you get into the combat part of it, you would like dive down into this third-person hack and slash that you would then use the armor and weapons and health potions and all this the stuff that you would pick up or that you would buy from the merchant in the card game, and you could still lose that battle even though you had all the equipment. If you didn't play well, you could still lose that fight. And I love that so much. And I said, man, if they ever make this into a physical game, I'm going to buy it. And Matt is living proof. We were at PAX and I walked by Cool Stuff. They had tons of them at Cool Stuff. I walked by that booth, picked it up, read the front, read the back, held it in my hands, walked around with it. And I did that, I don't know, probably like 7 or 8 times while we were there, and finally decided not to get it, mainly because I couldn't ship it back. Like I already had a ton of games that I needed to get back to the house. But when I got home, that was the very first thing I did was got online and ordered it from Miniature Market. Little did I know that Kickstarter backers still did not have this game.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
I might not have bought it if I knew that, because I get a little skeeved out by that. I mean, I don't mind stuff like Dice Throne had copies to sell at the show. That's fine. But I decided not to buy mine at the show. I went to Miniature Market, a third-party retailer, kind of a wholesaler at some level, to get this game when Kickstarter backers didn't have theirs. Now they have a bunch of other stuff that they're getting in the box, stuff that I didn't have. But still, like I was asking people, oh, hey, I'm excited to play this game. Does anybody know anything about it? And they're like, yeah, waiting to get my copy. I'm like, oh, that's my bad.
Daisy.
Yeah, might be. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to say it. But it's really fun. It's essentially a deck builder. So, you start off with a basic hand, just kind of like Dominion or Hogwarts Battle or whatever other card game you're playing. And you go through a hand of 5. Everybody has a character, and all the characters are the same pretty much. And then you can add on to your weapon. You can add, all of your armor. You can do buffs, all sorts of stuff. And then you're just kind of washing through your deck. And you're trying to make your way through. They have a campaign in it, which is pretty cool for solo and co-op play. And then you can just play competitively too, where you're just trying to get the most victory points. So, but I mean, honestly, it's a game that may not be up everybody's alley, but I absolutely love that game. It reminds me exactly why I wanted to buy it when I was playing it on Xbox. So if you want to know what it's about, just go on Xbox and just look up Hand of Fate. You can also get it on your PC, but it's probably really cheap. I bet you can get it for $10 or less digitally. So I would say check it out. It's a real fun game. I liked it. Played that with my brother and his wife, and I had a game night at my church this past Friday, which we have every other week, and we got to play Dice Throne Season 2. And those nerds loved it. Loved it. They played several games of Season 2. And if you haven't had a chance, just play it. And if you don't have it, we can fix that. We have a raffle that's going on right now for $10 a ticket. $10 a ticket. you can get in on getting Dice Throne Season 2, the Battle Chest, with the custom promos and randomizer deck and the whole 9 yards. And also, you can get, that comes with it, issues 0 and 1 of the Dice Throne comic, which are not like widely available. You can also enter for a chance to win a PlayStation Classic and also a copy of My Little Scythe. So we're going to pick 3 unique winners at random from all of these people who've bought tickets. There's no number of tickets that is a limit that you can purchase. There are some people that have bought upwards to 10 tickets, which I think is absolutely fantastic. But I'll tell you this, and I've said this a lot and I'll continue to say it until this raffle's over. If you only buy 5 tickets and you get Dice Throne, the Battle Chest, you've absolutely stolen it. Like, the cops are coming after you. This is a federal case now. In some countries, they would cut off your hand for this, but we're going to be a little bit more lenient and just give you the game. But that is a $90 value just for the Battle Chest. And it's signed by Nate and Manny, the creators of the game. So, come on. If you haven't played Season 2 or if you missed out on the Battle Box, get in and get it. $10 a ticket, no limit. All you have to do is go to lovethynerd.com/raffle to get in on that. Shameless plugs aside, I also played Chronicles of Crime. This game is dope. I am 100% glad that we were able to get a review copy. And honestly, I think Anna's going to do this review because she played a lot more of it than I did. I had to walk around. I had to walk around and, kiss babies and do all sorts of stuff, teach games at the game night.
Oh, okay.
And she sat there for a Time Stories amount of time and played Chronicles of Crime. They played through several chapters, her and another woman there, Christy. And then they brought another guy in at the end of that. He played the last chapter with them, and he's like he's a defense prosecutor. That doesn't make any sense. Not a defense prosecutor, maybe a defense lawyer or a prosecutor. He's
a defense attorney.
That's what it is. That's the one. He's a defense attorney. So the whole thing about this is like you're trying to solve murders and, solve the crime and stuff like that. So this is right up his alley, and it makes his brain work in the way that he likes for it to work.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so he texted me the next day and said, "Hey, where do I get that game?" And that always makes me feel so happy. Come to find out, not everybody carries Chronicles of Crime. Like, there are certain distributors that won't do it. But get online and get it. I promise you, this game, if you like solving puzzles, if you like thinking about things and Sherlock Holmes at all, like, this is the game for you. Anna has started calling this game, she calls it, what does she call it? Chronicles of Time? Chronicles of Crime. That's what it is. No, Crime Stories. That's what she calls it.
There we go.
There, we got there.
I knew you get there.
I didn't write it down ahead of time. So I sound like an idiot getting there. But she calls it Crime Stories because it is very time stories, but it plays in a way shorter amount of time. So I don't know. It's a highly recommend for me. You guys will get a review. I promise you that. Big thanks to Madeline Turnipseed for showing me that game and for helping me get that review copy. And then a couple of weeks ago, I told you guys we played a game called Secret Hitler. I just want to share I want to share a really quick story with you, and I hope that you guys enjoy this as much as I did. We played it at a Christmas party for our life group, and I need to tell you this about my wife. I love her to death. She is so great. She cannot be the bad guy in anything, especially when she has to lie about it. And Secret Hitler is a game of social deduction, right? So the whole thing is, if you've ever played a game like Mafia or Werewolf or The Resistance or Coup or anything like that, like, you're trying to discern who the good guys and who the bad guys are. Well, we go through the whole everybody close your eyes phase, and then we wake up and immediately look over at Anna and go, "Oh, okay, so you're Hitler." And she's like,
No,
I can't do this. I'm so bad at it. And she's like, "Should we just quit?" And I said, No. Let's finish this game out. Like, let's see it through to the end. Let's play it out. So we get all the way up to the point where you can assassinate somebody as the president. And so we do. We go, oh, okay, ha ha ha. We looked at Anna and we go, we formally assassinate Anna. Boom. And then you're supposed to ask them, are you Hitler? Like we think that this is the formality, right? At this point.
Yeah.
We said, are you Hitler? And she goes, yes, I think. Wait, what do you mean you think you're Hitler? Like you have cards. If you've never played this game, there's a card in there that says if you're fascist or liberal. And then there's another one that says if you're Hitler. And it says Hitler across the top of it.
You know for sure if you're Hitler. There's no I think.
Well, she looked at it. She was not Hitler. She played that whole game as if she were Hitler. And so we get to the end of the game and the real Hitler wins because by that point we had spent the entire game, like 3/4 of the game, with the idea that, oh, Anna is absolutely Hitler.
Brilliant. Way to
Was
go,
she
Anna.
at least on Hitler's team?
She was a fascist, yeah. But
Okay,
my 6-year-old, Caleb, he had mentioned how Hitler was a snake. And if you look at all of the cards, like all of the fascists are reptiles. And there is one that is a snakehead. And so Anna thought that he was correct, which he hardly ever is. But so she had the snake one and she saw that and just thought, oh, I'm Hitler. And so Hitler won the game and we were like, why didn't you say anything? She's like, I didn't know what to say. When Anna said she was Hitler, I was just going to ride that thing as far as I could. And she did. She rode it all the way to a victory. And I did not log that in BG stats.
Amazing.
Absolutely not.
Well, it didn't happen then.
Tainted victory.
remember when I was Hitler that one time?
I do remember. I think I was a fascist when you were Hitler.
I think you were too because, that was a great.
It could not have been any more poetic that you were Hitler and I was the fascist. Oh, Matt, you might have also been a fascist.
I was.
Yeah,
because people didn't believe it because
together.
everyone thought it was fake.
Well, I mean, you go into that, and this is the hard part I have with social deduction games is people are like, "Oh, you must be Hitler." Like, I'm not always the bad guy. I want to play this game too.
Me.
I'm usually the first
I
person to get
killed you.
assassinated or eaten by the wolf or whatever, and that's my lot in life. You know,
I killed you that one time, and they were like, "Why do you want to kill Bubba?" And I said, "Just because. I don't care. I just want him out of here."
Yeah, just wanted to hood rest some of my friends, I guess.
Yeah.
I just want him out. And then you were like, there was no point in doing that. I'm like, for me, there was. And it's been accomplished. You're done.
Oh, man. We played so much Secret Hitler.
I have so much joy in my heart.
Hopefully, we'll get back to that here in just a second. But guys, that's what we've been playing. We want to know, what have you been playing? And also, what do you plan on playing this holiday season with your family? Do you already have some games under your tree, Matt, that you know you're going to get and going to be playing? Or have you already ripped into them and are playing them now? Just let us know. What are you playing? Are there things that we should be playing? Are there things that you want to send us to review or talk about on this show or on Beard Bros Game Show? If so, please. Wow, that was a lot of rhyming. I felt like
Beard Bros Game
Ratman.
Show.
Like a Mr. Ratman. And
that's what they call themselves.
Mr. Ratman. But if you want us to do any of that stuff, just send us a message. You can do Matt, Kate, or Bubba at lovethynerd.com, and we'd love to get in on whatever it is that you're playing if we can. Moving the show right along, we want to talk about the main topic for this show, which is LTN Year 1 in review. And we said this at the beginning of the show that it was a busy year for us. A lot has happened in a year. We made a short list here. That's not even everything. It just isn't. It doesn't talk about the countless hours that we've put into this thing or the conversations that we've had or just the relationships really that have been built through LTN. But we want to give you guys just a short idea, little condensed list of the things that have happened. And we're going to kind of talk about some of these here and there that have happened since the beginning of 2018. We're not even at the end of 2018 yet. And sometimes that blows my mind.
It's wild.
But here we are. So the very first thing, and this to some, this first thing is kind of, it's very Voldemort. He who should not be named. We don't talk about this. It's hushed tones, whispers. That's not who I am. And this is a part of who we are and our history. So we will definitely be talking about it. We left Game Church in February. We won't get into any of the details. Sorry if that's why you're here. You're just not going to hear it.
Too bad.
But the fact of the matter is that in February, we left Game Church, and Matt, Kate, and I did the arcade as a part of Game Church. Matt was the missions bro over there at Game Church. I was the community manager, and Kate, you did socials over there?
Yes. How dare you forget?
Well, not nearly. The reason I ask is because it wasn't nearly in the capacity that you're doing them here.
It was kind of the same.
That was dead air. That's what dead air sounds like. I don't know. I feel like you're doing more here, but I guess
I probably am. I am doing more here now.
Yeah, in that you're probably
right,
just doing what we ask you to do. And,
well, you didn't carry the 0. Yeah.
So anyway, we're pretty much doing the same roles that we did in Game Church here at Love Thy Nerd, but with our spin on it. And we were talking about this earlier. We, in the arcade, I think you can still go and find it.
There's only one episode on Apple.
And it's the last one that we did.
Yeah.
So if you go back and listen to it, I say at the very end, catch you next week. And then we didn't. And so it was that next week that we were no longer with Game Church and kind of trying to figure out what we were going to do. And Matt and I, we talked immediately about what the next thing was. What were we going to do after Game Church? What did life post Game Church look like? And we came up with a lot of ideas that actually made it into Love Thy Nerd. So when you come with us on a show, or if you talk to Matt and I about the vision of Love Thy Nerd, a lot of that is going to come through. And that's really why we have a larger presence in board gaming now than we did in Game Church, because that was where Matt and I were feeling pulled towards. So that's it. We left Game Church in February, and it was not fun. It wasn't like, hey, you know what I'll do today? I'll leave Game Church. It was like a death in the family. It was like a loss. It was well, in some ways, and I can speak from personal experience, it was worse than a death in the family for me. It affected me in different ways because Game Church was so much a part of who I was and what I did. A lot of my identity, a little bit too much of my identity was wrapped up in that. So when that wasn't there anymore, it really hurt. But then you fast forward to March, like beginning of March, and we start Love Thy Nerd. That was the first time we'd ever used the name Love Thy Nerd. We had some working title names. Working Title was one of them. Smash was another. We kicked around Playwell, Redacted. I mean, there were a bunch of names that were being thrown around, and then we got the perfect one. And we can thank Mila Cameron for giving us this name. It was, I don't know. I remember we were all there in Ventura, and you were there, and you were there, and we were all sitting there, and Love Thy Nerd came up, and it was almost kind of an instant like, that's pretty good,
There it is.
It took a while for us to kind of really truly fully land there, but it was good. So we launched or started LTN in March. And if you guys didn't see that stream, it's probably still on our Facebook. I think it's in the community. Just go to the
type in
videos.
us at Love Thy Nerd.
And it'll come right up.
Community page.
So I think it's the very first video in the community. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I didn't have a beard.
It's gotta be.
I shaved. I must have been.
Did. Gross.
Yeah,
I haven't shaved since then.
That was so unsettling and weird. I never want to see that again.
Maybe I was just depressed. Okay, you ever think about that?
It's not important.
I didn't. Sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't be a baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay. Oh, not a baby. Physically not a baby. But really the next thing that happened, and this actually started while we were in Ventura getting everything ready and learning what Love Thy Nerd is and all that stuff. We recorded the first episode of the Free Play podcast right there in the back room of Chris's house.
Oh, that's right.
We recorded that. It didn't get released until just maybe a week or two after that. But I remember stumbling over Love Thy Nerd. I
was just going to say that. You kept saying, like, Love Thy Neighbor. You're like,
yeah.
Us here at Love Thy Neighbor. And you're like, oh, that's not it. And we were like, oh, just pull it together.
Yeah, we almost fired you right then. Like, you can't even say the name.
Yeah, if he can't say the name, like, how is he going to get anything done?
Hey, man, I don't have to say it so long as the checks are cashed, okay?
And then
there it is.
Yeah.
Free Play Podcast became immortalized in the world of podcast history.
Yeah, and
Did it?
It's becoming immortalized. How about that?
That day, of course it did. Just say it like it's true.
Tis a process.
Oh, there it is.
And we went over a couple of different names. I don't even remember. Matt, do you remember any of the names that we had for this before Free Play?
No.
Table Talk.
Table Talk was one of them.
Table Talk.
That was the front runner. And then other things.
I don't remember. I can't remember that far back.
Not so good.
No, I think that we landed on this one pretty quickly after.
I think so too. And I thought it up for the longest time, but I actually think that Bubba thought it up.
I
think
honestly
it was Matt
don't
who thought
remember.
it up.
Yeah.
I don't think it was you.
There's a very big, high possibility that one of us stole it from something else. So
The online.
deal with it. Yep. Thank you to the internet. The internet gets the credit.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I know that we came up with the idea of Free Play because we wanted the freedom to be able to talk about whatever we wanted to. We didn't want to be. We decided that if we did table talk, that we would be pigeonholed into talking about tabletop games, or at least felt like we would. And we didn't want to go with anything video game-y because we didn't want to be pigeonholed there. So Free Play allowed us to do whatever we wanted to do. And if we haven't done whatever we wanted to do, then I don't know what we've done. So there's that. We did that in early March. And then later that month, we launched our brand new podcast called the Humans of Gaming podcast. When we decided that this is what we were going to do, when Love Thy Nerd was official, we just freaking went for it. And we knew what we wanted to do. And we pulled a lot of the ideas from things that we had been doing with Game Church. So we had the Game Church podcast, right? And Drew was banging along on that, doing a great job, had all these developers and industry guys that he could talk to and really already had interviews set up with. And we said, well, why not still be able to do that? And he always wanted to call another podcast the Humans of Gaming. He loved that. And so we just did it. And Chris came on to be the host of that with him, co-host. And they have been able to kind of take it to not just gaming developers, but also people in the industry. And they're doing great with that. We love the Humans of Gaming podcast. And it's perfect for Drew to host. Like if that were our podcast, it would tank in a heartbeat. People would say that podcast kind of sucks. That right there, Matt, is where I'll put your little blip.
I'm fine.
Yeah. But so Drew doing that is great, and Chris coming alongside of him is just the most perfect match there. After that, things kind of we went into kind of a, I don't want to say hiding, but we started to do things like we launched the community after that, and we got a couple of other things rolling. But the next really big thing was, and I don't want to downplay the community, but you guys know about the community. It's just get on in there. Just go to facebook.com and make sure that you, I don't know, look up Love Thy Nerd or something. However you do socials, just get in there and find Love Thy Nerd community. I will say this though, on like the first week, we had like 700 people join.
That's true.
Like immediately. Which,
very true.
If you're one of those people, thank you so much for believing in us and for what we were going to be doing, which we had no idea.
Shh, 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 shh.
Well, I tried to kind of whisper it.
Oh, all right.
But we really had almost no idea what we were going to do, other than the fact that we knew that we wanted to reach gamers with the love of Jesus. That was the easy part. The how was the hard part. So we took a lot of time to kind of figure that out. And when we did figure it out, we decided that we needed uniforms. Okay. So with the uniforms came our first piece of merch. It was the LTN shirt. Matt's wearing one right now. So beautiful. And you can get yours at lovethynerd.com/store. Go and pick yourself up a t-shirt. They're pretty dope. I had a couple people ask me where to get one, and I didn't have one on me, or I would have sold it to them.
So you said the online.
I did the online.
Which, by the way, those pictures on the website me and Steven took of each other modeling the LTN shirts.
Yeah. That's a nice little peek behind the curtain. Absolutely.
Those look good.
I know they look super professional.
And also you little woofer is on there too.
Yeah. No, is she on the website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, everyone go to the website on the store and look to see the picture of
Type in
my dog, Finn.
lovethynerd.com/Finn.
Yeah. And look up the picture of my dog, Finn, wearing the t-shirt.
If that link that Matt shares doesn't work, please email us at lovethynerd.com, and we'll be sure to fix that for you. So we did the merch, and that was we labored over that shirt. You may look at that and go, oh, it's just text. If only things were that easy. That was countless conversations, gnashing of teeth. We had our first actual argument within Love Thy Nerd over that shirt. Well, maybe not first, but we had one of our big ones over that shirt. So a lot of our blood, sweat, and tears went into that. And thank you guys for liking it, for digging it. People see that at convention and they say, wow, love that shirt. Where can I get one? So if anybody asks, lovethynerd.com/store. And we hope to have more merch later, but that's not what this is about. This is about trying to sell you that shirt and moving on with this list. We also launched our social media in June. And that's where Kate comes into the mix. Kate, we went and got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we were really trying to figure out when to launch it. It was different from the community. We wanted to make sure that we had content to share on it. So to do that, we needed other stuff like articles, shirts, something to talk about and push and share on it. So yeah, it was huge. And just the response and the community that we have on our social media now is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool. It's so cool to see articles and stuff that we post where we say a game review or an interview with a developer. Like those people that we talk about in that thing want to share that thing with all of their peeps.
Yeah.
Like they're proud to be associated with us. And that's so cool.
It really is. The cross promotion is just, it's amazing. I mean, and that's a lot of what we're going to talk about here at the end of what has all of this done for us. But people are engaging, and people, whether they're industry people or just nerds like you and I, they are engaging. And when we were there in Ventura in late February, anytime we came up with a possible name, either Kate or myself were on Twitter like, is that available as a handle or Twitch or, whatever. Like we were looking up on socials to make sure that we could have a unified name across all of our stuff. And I'm happy to say that we do have that with Love Thy Nerd.
It was available.
And it makes sense. And it's not some weird abstract version of Love Thy Nerd. It is at Love Thy Nerd or / Love Thy Nerd on
Love Thy Nerd.
Love Thy Nerd. Yeah, it's not real. You can send all your hate mail to us at lovethynerd.com. But we did do that, and I get emails every now and again from Twitter that's like, hey, you need to verify your email for such and such, whatever the bullcrap name that you registered. And I remember that was from that initial meeting, and we're never going to use that. So, but yeah, Kate's been smashing it on social media. And so if anything good comes from social media, it's because Kate put it there.
Thank you. I've been trying very hard.
We also did our very first show as Love Thy Nerd in August. And Matt, we went to Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
God's country, right?
They call it that?
I know, I just did.
Okay.
But we did Recon at Gen Con. That's a pretty cool trip.
It was great. It was, I don't know. I think we kind of knew what to expect, but we also didn't know if it was going to work, if that makes sense.
That's a fair assessment, yeah.
We knew what we wanted to do, but we weren't sure if we were going to do it the right way. So we took a team there and we were just kind of like, hey, try it. If you want to try it, do it. Here's our mission. Love the people here. Let them know Jesus loves them. Beyond that, like, find the avenue with which you want to do that. So I think we learned a lot from that show. I think we were able to go into our next show a little bit more prepared. I'm not trying to jump ahead here too much, but we learned more at the next show too, even more. So I look forward to going to Gen Con every year. That's one of my favorite conventions. And it was your first year going ever.
Yes, it was. Man, That was a freaking show and a half.
It's huge. It is so huge.
Yeah.
There's just so much to see. And I feel like I don't even get to experience all of it. You can't. There's no way.
Nope.
I wasn't even able to make it to all the the different areas of the convention because it's so huge.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never went to what was it? Lucas Oil? Never went there, man.
Next year, it's gonna be the first thing I do. We're running there. Say hello and head on out.
Stand on the 50 and just put your hands in the air.
That's it.
Take my
I
picture,
made it.
Mom.
Wow, then I leave.
But we took, how many people came with us on that trip? 5?
There were...
Not including us?
No. More than that.
Yeah. 5 or 6-ish. And if you came on that show with us, thank you so much for doing that. There was no way anybody could have known what was going to happen there. Thank you for dealing with our uncertainty about how to even handle a new team, because we didn't have a booth. With Game Church, we had this security blanket where we had exhibitor badges and a booth and home base, and we could get in before the show started, and we had all of these inroads. And now enter LTN, and we have 0 of it. We couldn't even we applied for media badges, but we didn't have enough content for them to give us a media badge. Like it was like we legitimately had concerns of, is this what we're supposed to be doing before we even got there?
We're too new.
Well, we let our fears get the best of us,
We were like little babies trying to walk. What do I know about that?
I'm nothing. I
guess
nothing.
Matt would know. Is that true, Matt?
Liken it to goats and then or chickens, and you'll understand.
Okay. It's
well,
like
chickens can walk when
we were
they're
still
born.
in the hatching phase.
And you had shell bits all over you from coming out of the egg.
You can't talk to me like
through.
that, and don't say bits in this podcast.
Sweep up.
Yeah. But that show went really well. Even with all of the feedback that we got, that some of it was fairly negative, but thank you, because it was still constructive. And it did. It helped us go to the next show and do better. So we did that. We went to our first show in August, and then we launched lovethynerd.com. We had some just issues launching the website of things that we're not going to bore you with, but it didn't. We were trying to launch it before Gen Con. didn't quite get the way that we wanted it to. I think we may have launched a day or two before or during or something like that. I can't remember, but it was like right around Gen Con, either during or after, I think. And so we were able to do that, and we immediately had tons of content because of a bunch of great writers that we had. Drew did a great job of really just getting those people together to give you engaging content, not just another drab review that you might read or something like that, but these are thoughtful pieces. And if you've read any of the stuff on our website, which we have a brand new review of Into the Spider-Verse, which I am deliberately not reading because I don't want it to spoil anything for that movie for me.
Mm-hmm. Same. The article, I'm sure, is choice.
I bet it's top notch.
I read it. It's great.
Okay. Kate, 10 out of 10 Kates, but 0 out of 0 right now, Bubba's, because I'm not going to read it until I've seen the movie. But we have a ton of great, thoughtful content and some satirical, funny stuff, a la, Babylon Bee or whatever. But we mainly have a lot of great content that we think shines a good light on game developers and people in the industry that entrust us to engage in their content and do it well and share that with the world. So that's what Drew's really trying to do with that website, is not just have a cool place for us to put our stuff, but to also represent these names and brands well, and to get you to think differently about the way that you engage with this media that is gaming. So we launched the website, and every single one of us had a hand in launching that website, whether it was writing content or designing or input or whatever it was. We all had a hand in making that what it was. So thank you if you engage in the content on the website. And we also launched the Bird List podcast in October. I did that on purpose. I knew what was coming.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
We don't have a Bird List podcast.
The way you said it, though, it sounded so
did
like
it on
you were just
purpose.
reading it.
That's because I had read it ahead of time and knew what I was going to do. Jokes aside, we launched the Pull List podcast in October, and that's where we brought in Chris and Hector, two guys who have a lot of comic industry knowledge, know-how, and they know people in the business as well, to come and do our comic podcast. And we've said this before, Matt, you love that podcast.
I do. It's true. I need to listen to the latest one.
10 out of 10 Matts.
Well,
that doesn't mean, how does that convert to 10?
Yeah, we have to figure out the conversion first.
Yeah, I told you forever ago that it's in the back of your Trapper Keeper. There's a legend conversion chart.
You're right.
But they do a good job, a really great job, actually, of not just sharing content, but being engaging and also being pretty dang funny and knowing what they're talking about. When I talk
thoughtful
about comics,
content.
Oh,
yeah, that's what
is
it's
that what
called.
that means?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thoughtful.
When I talk about comics, it's usually pretty surface level because I've been out of the game for a long time. Not these bros. They are comics, and they love it. And I would recommend going and following Hector's stuff with Faith and Fandom. They're kind of a Love Thy Nerd. What are we calling them? Partnerships or affiliates?
Or
there it is.
Is that
That's
the word?
one.
I think affiliates is what we landed on.
Okay.
And Faith and Fandom is one of our affiliates. They're people that we trust, and that we love and put out great stuff. And Hector has some really cool things through Faith and Fandom, some really great books that are kind of devotionals built around different pieces of fandom. And that's his whole Faith and Fandom thing. So if you're interested in any of that, just check him out on Facebook. Just search Faith and Fandom. But we brought those guys on, and they started in, and I think it was October. We did that.
Yeah.
And then we also launched Beard Bros. I'm not going to say birds. I see it there, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to address it, but I'm not going to say it.
Move on.
Moving
Yeah.
on like it never happened.
You should have said it.
But we launched that show, Matt and I did on Facebook, and it kind of was just like a whim for us. We had decided that we had a lot of really awesome, wonderful, amazing written content on the website. And Matt and I had written an article each for the website and kind of had decided that was not our jam.
Hey, we're up to 2 now, kind of like one and a half.
1 and 1/1. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take it.
Yeah. But we don't write too good. And it's easier for us to do like visual or spoken content. So we decided that, hey, we had all these reviews that we needed to get done from Gen Con, which we were able to get without media badges, which was pretty cool. So that kind of speaks to where God was taking this ministry already. And so we had all that stuff that we needed to get done, and we decided that this might be the best place for us. And wouldn't you know, our danged chief content bro agreed with us. And so we started the Beard Bros Game Show. And Drew's been on that. He was on with me 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah. And
now Kate wants to be on it. Guys, it's catching fire.
I don't want to be on it.
Well, too bad because you can't be on it. So, but that's going to continue to evolve. Matt and I have talked about that already.
Oh yeah.
Last week we did our first episode on our Facebook page for Love Thy Nerd, not the group.
Wait. How was Drew on it if he doesn't have a beard?
Well, if you've been paying attention instead of driving your mom around,
he put his crocheted one on.
Yeah.
But that's still not a real grown beard.
Well, yes.
Well, it's not called Grown Beard Game Show. It's just called Beard Bros.
So I could put a fake one on my face and be on it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You could. 100%.
Well, I don't want to still.
Well, that's good because you can't.
You could take your hair and like
you
move it
could
up
do
to
that. Yeah, like you're doing right now. That's perfect.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Everyone can see, since this is a video podcast, everyone can see what I just did.
And you didn't even leave it out there long enough for Matt to take a screen grab of. So yeah.
No.
Too late.
But we did Beard Bros and are doing Beard Bros, and we're looking into putting that on Twitch. We're looking into getting it really syndicated on YouTube. We're really looking into making that more of a thing that we do that can engage more people. So trying to create more content for you guys to consume any way that you can. And we do those live, like I said, every Friday at 4-ish Central Time. We also, after we started that, we went to our second show, Matt.
We did, and this one was different also in a good way.
That was
we
an
tried
adequate
to take
description, yes.
Well, we tried to take people who had never been to a convention in this form before, and they all had a really great time, but they also brought some different viewpoints, which we needed because we needed that feedback. So the show is awesome. I feel like it's kind of where these years of relationship building that Bubba and I have been doing, all of us have been doing, just really kind of just came together, and like real friendship was there. I felt like a corner had been turned.
Definitely the most fruitful of the trips as far as that goes. Like that was that was a we'd planted the seed, we'd watered it, and now we started to see it blossom.
I blossomed to a beautiful friendship. Or something.
Wonderful.
Or something. Yeah.
But yeah, so it gave us a lot more to think about, and I learned, what I can't just say go do your thing. I have to be more specific about what that thing could be, and then you can go do that whatever that thing is at the shows.
Yeah.
So it just kind of gave me more to chew on, to think about, because I mean we've been doing this for years at this point, so we don't really have to think about it. We just go and do it. But people don't always know what to do. So
no, we don't. I mean, we knew what we wanted to do, and we just kind of got out there and tried it. And that was hard for some people to just, hey, when we say go try a thing, some people need a little bit more instruction with that. Matt and I are not those people, so it was hard for us to give that instruction when we didn't really know what it was.
True.
But you feel like we have a pretty good handle on it ish now?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we're still going to be learning here, and I mean, we'll be going to PAX South in January, and I think we still have some things to learn. But I think each convention will kind of refine us even more.
I think so. I mean, that was the same thing when we were doing it with Game Churches. We learned something at every show.
Yeah.
And then that last show that we did in January of this year, holy moly, PAX South. That's
so wild.
I can't even say that out loud without my brain bleeding out of my ears.
I went to the last trip.
Yeah, think about that.
The very last one. I squeaked in.
Yeah, it was your first
Not
one
my
too.
fault.
Oh, spoopy.
It is yours.
Yeesh. But when we went on that trip, we tried something brand new, and that was Matt and I were going to walk around and talk to developers, and that's kind of what this has blossomed into. So it's good to be able to do that because we're seeing that is effective, that people enjoy that, they appreciate that, that we're not just nuisances at their booth, taking up space, but that we actually care and they want to talk to us, and it feels good to be vindicated. Nope, not vindicated. Validated.
Vindicated.
Validated.
I am right.
Validated was the word
I
I was
used to
looking for.
love that song. Dashboard Confessional.
Yeah, don't worry about
Do
it.
you not love it
Moving
anymore?
on.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as much of a jam now.
It'll be the closing song of this week. How about that?
Yeah, perfect.
We'll see.
Okay.
But then that was our last recon trip in Philly, and now you're all caught up on what the year for LTN has looked like, and looking forward to 2019, we are going to fulfill the raffle on January the 1st. We are going to go to PAX South in mid-January.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to rock that thing out. Here's the thing. That trip filled up in like a week. And we were
Wild.
We were like, oh man, I don't know if anybody's gonna want to come with us. We don't know what that's really gonna look like. Like, we didn't open it up until fairly late, but then it filled up in a week. We had to cap it at 10 people.
That reminds me, I have to make a post about how the team is full, so hopefully no one will apply.
Okay, thank you. That's much appreciated.
Thanks for the heads up, yeah.
But I mean, Matt, was that at all crazy to you? Did that exceed any expectation that you had?
I was hopeful, I guess, but I wasn't sure. I don't know. I think with it being our first trip, I didn't have any doubts that we would fill up, but I didn't expect it to be that quick.
Fair enough.
Maybe the idea of hey, we're capped at 10 kind of pushed people into it a little faster than they originally would have, but they kind of wanted to you're either in or you miss your spot. So
yeah,
that could be part of it. But I'm so glad everyone signed up.
I mean, and maybe this is because it's our first show. I hope that's not the case. I hope that people want to join us on these endeavors. But I mean, you remember having to beg and scratch and claw to get people to come to fill the slots that we needed to pay for the trip. It's good to not have that hanging over our heads anymore. That we're not chasing a figure nearly as high. The overhead is almost gone. Because we don't have the booth anymore. And I don't know. It's a way lower price point. I think it's safe to say that $500 is cheaper.
It is.
It's mathematically cheaper than the
half as much.
the $12.50 or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, more than half.
Which, don't get me wrong. I mean, I paid several times, several times to go on trips with Game Church, and I thought it was worth every single penny that I paid. And now we're offering a similar experience for half the cost, over half the cost. So, I don't know. I just think that maybe people, and this is me speculating live on air here, I just think that people want to be a part of this thing. Not necessarily
I think you're right.
because we're doing it, but I just think that they want to be a part of something great and special. And thank you for that, because that's exactly what LTN is to us. Mm-hmm. This is what we know that we're supposed to be doing. We are a religious organization. A lot of people get freaked out about that, but I promise you it's not weird. We go to great lengths to not make it to make it not weird. To
make it really weird. Wait,
to make it normal and not awkward.
To make it weird. Got it.
Whatever I'm trying to say, to do that thing where you feel comfortable around us. And we've seen that pay dividends already. In 2019, we will continue to build these relationships with developer friends and also con goers as well. And we are actually going to be in a documentary, which is pretty freaking awesome. People are starting to approach us to say, hey, can we XYZ with LTN? And we're not used to that.
PDQ.
Kate, you had a question?
No, I just had a comment that recently on the website, we had an article come out about like our 11 top games from like PAX and stuff. And I shared that like on all the socials, and I like to tag all the developers so that they know and they can look at it and see what was written about them. And at least 2 developers, maybe more, shared that and we're like, look, we made Love Thy Nerds like top list of PAX Unplugged. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
who was it?
Don't say that out loud.
It was, one of them was Pandasaurus Games.
Hey, Dulasaur Island. Ian's a great guy, though. I mean, that's just...
Another one was...
Go on. She's stuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't... I'd have to go look on in the
sure
back end. But the one I remember off the top of my head was that. And it was on Twitter, too. There was some people on Twitter who were sharing it and not just like, oh, look, we're on a list, but they said, we're excited to be on Love Thy Nerds Best of PAX Unplugged list. Like, oh... Yeah, that's so sweet. Like they like, I don't know, just seeing like the relationships carry over in that way where we're a good thing to be associated with is good news.
Yeah, I hope that they still feel that way when they get the bill for all of that marketing and ad space.
I know.
Yeah. So
and be like, here, we're sending an invoice for 15% of the sales.
They'll love it. They'll love it.
They'll love They Nerd. But guys, that really, and I mean, we're going to go to, we're looking at 4 shows. Is that right, Matt? Did I say that correctly? 4 shows in 2019?
I mean, 4. Yeah, you said 4 correctly.
Several shows.
Several.
Say a handful.
4 handfuls. As long as your hands can hold one apiece.
Depends how many fingers you have and if you've lost any.
But we're gonna do shows, guys, because that's us. That's what we do. We go to shows and we just really want to love and serve our nerdy neighbors. And you're gonna hear us say that a lot. That's our new mantra. That's the quick and easy thing that we say to people when they ask what Love Thy Nerd is. And that's what we want to do. And we're gonna do it at shows. We're gonna hopefully teach you when you come to us or come with us to a show how to take that home to a game night or just to, your local YMCA or to wherever it is that you're hanging out and sharing life with people and playing games, whether that's in your home or anywhere, it doesn't matter. We want to help you and educate you on how to bring Love Thy Nerd and what we're doing back home with you. I can guarantee you that it's not hard, but it does take time. But guys, that's a short look at what this year has looked like for us. It was crazy. You were with us on this trip. Even listening to this podcast right now, you are a part of the Love Thy Nerd journey. And thank you so much for being a part of this with us. I would be remiss if I didn't plug that you can partner with us. You can partner with us financially, whether that is $1 or $1 million. It really doesn't matter. We just want you to be a part of this thing that we're doing. And that, I hope you can see, has been effective and will continue to be effective in the future. To do so, all you have to do is go to lovethynerd.com/partner, and you can set up any kind of donation that you want, whether it's a one-time or a recurring. And we thank you in advance for anything that you can give. And if now's not the time, that's okay. But the door will always be open, and we would love to have you as a part of our partner team. We actually call them the Fellowship, and there is a super duper secret Facebook group that I'm talking about publicly on this podcast right now that you will have access to.
Lower your voice.
You'll have access to it. You can get in it when you have started to partner with us. So thank you in advance for doing that. Once again, that's lovethynerd.com/partner. Because here's the skinny of it. Ministry costs money, and we literally could not do this without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? That's going to do it for episode 35 of the Free Play Podcast. Be sure to check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, Twinder, all of the things, anywhere that you can find podcasts. And if you listen in a certain spot, like I said earlier, and we're not there, please help me help you get us on your Google Home Mini or your Amazon Echo Dot or whatever. I want you to be able to say, hey, thing, play Free Play Podcast.
Do your thing.
Do that thing. Do it.
Play the thing.
Play the things. But let me know. Send me an email, bubba@lovethynerd.com, and I will do my best to get us on that platform. If you're not already a part of our Facebook group, just get on Facebook and search Love Thy Nerd. You're going to find our page, like it, and you are going to find the community. Join it. You'll be happy that you did both. And they are vastly different. You need to know that right now.
Yes.
The community is a meme bed. It's kind of like a dank spot on the internet at times, but I love it to death. It's my baby. And the Facebook page is where we share all of the pertinent content and updates and stuff like that about Love Thy Nerd. And also just follow us on Twitter and Instagram @LoveThyNerd. That's where Kate's blowing all of that mess up.
It's so easy that even Matt can do it.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Proficient. I like it. But like I said, that's going to do it for us. We will catch you next week. But my name...
No, we won't.
We're not. No, it's the end of season 1.
You know what? We're not. That's who deleted this at the bottom of the page. I had a reverse Anchorman moment where I was trying to add stuff that wasn't there.
We didn't delete it. You did.
We will not catch you next week. Not on Free Play.
Really?
Not on Free Play.
Wait, are you sure?
Matt, I thought I was, and now I'm not. Matt and I will catch you this Friday and probably the following Friday and other Fridays until we decide that we don't want to do it anymore on Beard Bros live on our Facebook page. And it'll be shared out so you guys can get all that. But whenever we see you or hear you next, just remember, Jesus loves you, nerds.
You have been listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. Be sure to rate and review the show and share on all the social media.
And I'm Matt Warmbier.
Crap! See, it's not written there. I'm Bubba Stallcup.
No, I'm Matt Warmbier.
And I'm Kate Katawaki.
And aren't you glad this is over? Jesus, take the wheel.
No, this is great. This is great. Where did it go?